Welcome to the Gloire Show. I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support you guys have been showing. I really appreciate it. And so far, we have dropped 3 episodes. And throughout those 3 episodes, the first one, I was able to just talk about myself. Second one, we had a word of the day, which was ego. And the third, basically my perspective on a video that I came across where Frank Zanu was speaking about, should black people unite? And I think people should unite, not just because of the skin color, but just because we're humans. I think it's very important when we do that because that helps us actually build a better, peaceful, and a more united world. So, on today's episode, we're gonna speak about growth is lonely, and the reason why I chose that is because there's a lot of people that struggles to be by themselves. A lot of people tend to go by the saying, misery always seeks attention. When you're miserable, some people just can't be by themselves. So why is that? We live in a generation now of social media where people just want to fit in. People want to follow trends and so much things. And I want to talk about myself. So let's get back to why fewer people understands me as I evolve. I have a lot of people that I know, but I don't have too many friends. And just because we're speaking, just because we know each other, doesn't mean we're friends. We could be associates, we could be acquaintances, and so on. But that doesn't make us friends. Because one thing I realize is getting to know a lot of people is cool or whatever, but like, are all those people on your side? Some people that you meet tend to just be against you, but you don't even know because you just allowing them to be closer and closer and closer to you. So I started learning that at a young age, actually, just growing up. I've had a couple friends that we were friends at first, and then as time went by, I just started feeling some type of way, like, is this person supportive of my dream? Because I used to mention, something that I want to do. I used to mention, hey, I wanna be able to accomplish this. And the response that I would get from the individuals will always feel like they're doubting me. And that's one thing I don't like. The moment I bring something to you is because I trust your feedback and I want you to actually tell me what you think. You don't have to doubt me. Just tell me the truth. Just talk to me. Be like, hey, I think you can do it, but maybe try to start here first. I feel like that's the most effective way to actually talk to a friend, as you're giving them feedback. Don't all of a sudden kind of like bring up the negativity and just say like, hey, I don't think you can do that, or how those people that you tell something and the first thing is they start laughing. That should tell you a lot. That should tell you like, hmm, what's going through this person's mind? Like, is this person happy for me? Is this person um does this person want me to succeed in whatever that I'm trying to do? So you have to watch out from those kind of people that you bring up something to them and then they either laugh or speak negativity before anything else. We have those kind of people we have come across those kind of people in our lives. I've grown up to to notice that in firsthand. Like, that's why a lot of times I don't even talk about my dreams and goals with just anybody. I make sure I speak to someone that I'm comfortable with, someone that I know that's gonna speak life into it, and someone that I know that's gonna give me an honest criticism. Like, hey, like, I don't think that's for you. Like, I think you should aim more for this. And I feel like those are good people to keep around. You need people who are gonna be straightforward with you, honest with you, but who are not gonna put you down. And I always tell a lot of the kids that I speak with, because just I've had the opportunity to work as a coach, work as a mentor. I've taught a lot of kids when you go to college, everybody have their own time, you know, but make sure you surround yourself around people who wants to succeed and who want you to succeed. Because in college you have your own schedule. You know, some people may tell you, "Yo, bro, let's go to party. Let's go to party." And then the moment you say yes, you go to party, and then hey, you have missed five assignment. But you need to have people who's gonna hold you accountable, who's gonna tell you, "Yo, let's get our work done, and then after we're done, let's go to a party." And those people are rare. But when you find individuals like that who are gonna push you to be successful before any type of fun, those are the people you should be around. Not the people that are gonna drag you into the mess when you haven't even accomplished anything. So remember this: if you're going to college, stay away from those people. When I was in college, I stayed away from those people. That's why in college, the people that I was so close with was my cousin Charité, Starboy, and some of my roommates. We were closer, and because we pushed each other, we were all student athletes too, so we pushed each other. Like, hey, let's do this. Hey, I want to do this. Hey, let's get this done before we go practice. Let's get this done before we hit the gym. And that helped me be a successful college student. I had great GPA. 3 times dean list, and the rest above 3.0, because I made sure that I had a group of people around me that were pushing me. We also have to take an account with outgrowing conversations. We need to stop talking about small things all the time. I remember when, I used to be around a certain group of guys, and the only thing that we were talking about was where the girls at. A lot of y'all who's gonna come across this, you're gonna understand that. Yo, where the girls at? You go to a party. Where the girls at? You go here. Where the girls at? Like, that was the main thing. And as I was growing up, I started just understanding, like, why every time we have to worry about where the women at. Because where can we get a job at? Why we don't get to have those conversations? What can we do to improve our lives? Why can't we have those conversations? So you have to start outgrowing messages, conversations, and not just people. You can outgrow people anytime, because you step in different rooms, you meet different individuals who have different status, and people who are successful. And then now those are the people that you're going to start hanging out with because you want your life to be better. But you also have to start growing throughout your conversations. Things that you get to speak about are things that are going to reflect on your life. If you talk about women and that's your main focus, then you're going to continue to care about women. You understand? You're going to continue to worry about where the women at. And that is one thing that keeps a lot of men behind. When you focus so much on women, you start losing yourself, bro. You start losing yourself. So stop doing that. Start focusing on your goals. Start focusing on improving your health. Start focusing on what can I do to be a well-spoken man, taking care of yourself. Start focusing on that. Start focusing on your hygiene. A lot of people tend to focus on their hygiene only when they go meet up with some women. But on the other hand, they're just a bunch of bums, So stop doing that. I remember also, like, at one point in my life, I don't remember the exact person I was talking to, but I was just sick and tired of this person just always asking me, like, bro, where the girls at? I've always, like, I've done a lot. I've threw parties. I've done, this is my work, photography, and so much more. I'm very well known in the city of Buffalo. When I go across different areas, people know me. So a lot of dudes really thought because people know me, uh, that means I know so many women. And I told homie, I'm like, yo, bro, like, if you really care about women so much, why can't you go find you somebody that's gonna be with you every single day? Stop texting me every time when you try to talk to me. The first thing you ask me is like, yo, bro, where the party at? Where the girls at? That's not my lifestyle. I've come to change my life to want to be a better person, to want to focus on the future. We need to, men, listen up if you're watching this. We need to stay away from lust. Lust is one thing that's gonna destroy your life forever. If you don't allow yourself to start focusing on things that really matter, to start having sexual discipline, you are gonna mess your life up. And I'm telling you this. No, for real. You're gonna mess your life up. We all been there. We all been uh, feeling like the only thing that mattered was having women around. No. And we all need to start thinking about having a family. You get to a point in your lifetime where you're like 29, 30, and now you start thinking about having a family. Or a lot of guys tend to wait when they're like in their 40s. Now they want to have a family. Now they're no more attracted to older women. Now they start focusing on dating younger women, and that makes you a creep. So you need to start early. Find somebody that you can be with. Or if you want to focus on your future, yeah, focus on your future. You're fine with that. But stop getting yourself into so much things, sexual behaviors and so on, and losing yourself because, women have taken advantage of your mind and so much more. Women, same thing with you. Start looking for husbands. Start building your future. There's that saying where women run on, biological clock and men run on financial clock. So, man, if you're not gonna prepare yourself early on, you're not gonna be able to take care of your family later on, or be financially stable. And women, if you're not willing to, take care of yourself now and find you a good man that's gonna be with you, it's gonna be very hard later on. And even having kids. I wanna also focus on learning to be comfortable standing alone. That's the first thing that I mentioned when we first started this episode, but some people just can't be alone. I was never like that. The reason why I was never like that was because I was never a follower my entire life. If you ask people that know me, I've always wanted to make decisions that's gonna benefit me. Yes, I have friends. I have a group of friends. We can hang out, whatever. But if I feel like me hanging out with you is not gonna be beneficial to me, I'm not part of that team. So we need to start being comfortable being alone. Because being alone is not a problem. Trust me. Because then you get to have time to start thinking about things, what are some things I want to accomplish? You start writing things down. You start becoming more, more creative because you have so much time on your hands to figure yourself out. You start discovering some strength and weaknesses within yourself. You don't need no time to be discovering that through somebody else. No. And people respect you more. If people understand this person, wow, this person can be by themselves and not even care about being surrounded by a group of individuals. This person is going to be very successful. People look at lonely people as the people who can be lonely as people that's going to be successful later in the future. And there's people who can be by themselves, but they're really good with people, but they don't depend on people. They just feel like, okay, I'm an extrovert. I can be around people. I want to talk. I want to communicate. I want to network. But with those people also, they get to learn later on in life. I need to start pushing back. I need to start having my lonely times where I can sit down, think about myself, stay at home. And speaking about lonely, nowadays it's very hard to start going out to parties and doing because it's dangerous out there. Stay in the house, bro. Work on yourself. Write things down. Go to the gym. Work on your health. There's so much things that you can do that's gonna benefit you. There's so much things that you can do that's gonna, that's gonna separate you from everybody else and make you the top dog. You feel me? And I'm starting to see this too. A lot of people are starting to be more comfortable staying, on with themselves and not going out to parties anymore. And I always applaud that because that is growth. That means you're growing. That means you're starting to understand life. People gonna come and people gonna go. So guess what? The only person that you need to be relying on is yourself. So on today's episode, I just wanted to speak about that. I just want to speak about growth is lonely because it is lonely. If you want to grow, it's going to be lonely. You're going to be lonely because you're going, like, for example, I'm here by myself. I'm actually producing this show by myself because it's what I want. I see myself going to a different level in my life. So I'm going to make sure I challenge myself. I come here, I sit down, and I record because I'm not going to wait for nobody else to be here to record for me or to produce behind the scene for me. Because that's not how I'm going to elevate in anything in my life. Well, if you did enjoy this conversation, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. As I mentioned, this channel is basically for so much more, It's for us to sit down and have conversation about life lessons, just life in general, things that we have went through, different life perspectives. We're gonna be reacting on certain things as well. So if you did enjoy this, please like this video and please comment below because this is gonna help me and it's gonna help the video grow as we move forward. Once again, appreciate ya. This is the Gloire Show, and you have a blessed day. Peace.